2020 has been a very special year, but there were some certainties, like Chris Skinner's daily updates on our industry, on fintech, and on the economy in general. But even there were some particularities in his blogs, like the Fintech karaoke, but also Chris's conversations with the elephant in the room, who represented the economy, and the bird. He only spoke in Morse, and he represented the future. And in the beginning, I thought, is he getting insane because he's being locked in at home? But on the other hand, the elephant and the bird gave some very nice messages on the future, on our economy, on what's going on in our day-to-day life. And that's why I asked Chris if I could ask the elephant and the bird, and also Chris himself, a few questions on 2021. He was so kind to agree on this. And so here we are now. I will be talking to Chris. We will be talking to the elephant in his room. Not sure we will see him, but we'll clearly, definitely hear him. And about the bird. So I'm really looking forward to this conversation, Chris. Thank you very much for allowing this. And let's shoot the first question to the elephant. Elephant, what will happen to you in 2021? Do you think 2021 will be the year to move on, to leave Chris's room?
Well, Happy New Year, Rick.
Happy New Year.
The elephant is over there. I can't show you him because I think I'm the only person who can see him, I guess. But I'll ask him. So is 2021 the year to move on? Okay, he's kind of not sure. He's saying to me that 2021 is going to be another year of massive change and challenge, and that everyone has to focus on how to be developing digital businesses. He's also expressing a concern in terms of that he only can deal with what's happening right now. He can't deal with what's in the future, and what's happening right now is that the economy is still on pause. And he's got to worry about the fact that we need to fast forward, we need to move on, we need to get back to good times. And he's worried that the good times will not roll because so many people are not ready to be digital. Not just in banking and finance, but he worries that people don't get the digital message.
Right. How do you think this will impact the banking industry? Is it time for the newcomers to really take a stance against these incumbents because they don't understand digital?
I don't know if you heard that. How do you think it will impact the banking industry? He doesn't want to make too much comment. So I'll ask the bird. How do you think it will impact the banking industry? Okay. The bird is probably more intelligent about this because the bird knows more about what's coming.
Right.
I'm getting the message. So basically, the bird is saying that the banking industry has ignored technology for too long and not really embraced technology as it should. Sorry, the elephant's also talking. So it's confusing. They're basically saying the same thing, I think, which is that the banking industry has heard about digitalization and technology for 20, 30 years and should have refreshed and renewed regularly to embrace technology and digitalization, but unfortunately have resisted technology and digitalization. And when I say resisted, it's more that they got to the stage that they didn't understand how it would impact their structure.
Mhm.
And by the time that they realized it was important, their structure was too inflexible to change. Would you agree? Okay. So basically, the banking industry is probably going to go through one of the biggest changes this year. And maybe an example is what I saw with one of the challenger banks that created savings abilities for their customers. And then through if this, then that, IFTTT technology,
Yeah.
allows customers to save 25 cents for every tweet that they like into a pot of money for looking after themselves with a special gift.
Yeah.
It's kind of that sort of stuff that the challenger banks really get, and they understand this along with artificial intelligence and machine learning. And the big banks, to be honest, because they've ignored technology, they couldn't offer that to their customers full stop.
Although in between, the first one I noticed that used if this then that was ING, I think in Australia.
Yeah. There are some big banks that get the message. Sorry, hold on. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Some big banks do get it, and big banks do have a future. But the issue I think that the bird is saying is that in the future, the big banks that don't adapt will not survive.
Yeah.
And so INGs and some other big banks, like the ones in Doing Digital in my book, BBVA, JP Morgan, they do get the message, and they're trying really hard to pivot to be digital and to adapt. I think the challenge is that there's a lot of banks that are led by Luddites.
All right. Now, aside from the banks, a question for the elephant again. Which sectors will change in 2021? There's probably going to remain a bit physical, of course, but which sectors will be really pushing digital forward in 2021 as a result of the consequences in 2020?
Did you hear that? Okay. He's kind of saying, what we all know, which is the experience of 2020 will continue in 2021. The companies that were geared up for digital delivery and distribution will continue to survive and thrive. The companies that depended on physical outlets will be challenged and will struggle. A lot of businesses that depended on physicality will find that they will not succeed in 2021 unless they augment physicality with digitality, which it's kind of obvious. And you know this, Rick, from your own conferencing, networking, business activities, that we've had to move to augment our services with video and online services. You can't depend on physical networking anymore. The airline industry is going to struggle. Well, okay.
Question is, are they going to be able to adapt because they're pure physical business, of course?
Yeah. But retail, airlines, conferencing, hospitality network, hotels, all those industries will continue to struggle, and many of them probably will disappear, he's saying. But if you look at online services, and particularly networking services, that's going to be the breakthrough success model for today and the future. And I actually posted this morning that Jeff Bezos's wealth increased to almost $200 billion over the last year, almost doubled. he will continue to make a lot of money.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, Chris. Is there anything that you would like to add personally for 2021?
From my own perspective, I guess, things are adapting and changing, and we continue to deal with the situation that we're in.
Yeah.
We don't like the situation that we're in, but we have to deal with it. I think the clear factor for me is that during 2020 and continuing into 2021, there are some companies that obviously, even now, are not handling digital reach very well. And there are companies that, when the great unlock happens, which I often talk about, we'll probably find that customers really do start to move in different directions. A lot of customers don't move out of their banks today because they're worried about the risk of moving. But when the great unlock happens, I'm pretty sure they'll move.
The bird.
Okay. The bird is just saying to me that he's not confident about challenger banks because he thinks that they don't do enough that's different. Okay, so the big issue is, can we do banking in a different way? And from my own experience, and I guess this is what I narrow down on, is saying that regulation will move to the specific transaction or thing that you're trying to achieve, rather than a banking license. We move to a payments license, but we'll soon move to an online payments license, or to an API license for payment, or to an API payment that's related to a loan. So we're going to move to much more micro services in financial services, and it's the banking as a service model that I've spoken about for a long time. But regulation and companies will move to the specific API app analytic that they're delivering onto a platform that's then integrated and aggregated by brand players that know how to do those things well. Sorry, hold on. Okay. Okay, sorry, the elephant was just saying that he doesn't like this. But the elephant doesn't like change because he wants everything to stay the same as it is, just like most bankers do.
Right, but I do think that could be a good thing for the elephant. A topic that will be very high on my agenda, and if I'm well informed, also on yours, is more the purposeful banking, where banks will need to look further than just technology. And if you look at the amount of money that is being invested in ecology, etc., that will boost the economy again in a different way, of course, and maybe not so much in a consumptive way, but it will boost the economy, no?
Well, I mean, there's three factors that come into play here, and you and I have talked enough to know where I'm coming from. One is obviously digitalization and the whole impact of the internet and the network on how we deliver financial services. The second is the view that financial services is not delivering in the interest of the customer, and that's particularly true amongst Gen Z millennials and the new population that's coming through as customers and employees, because they want to see that you focus on me and what I need rather than on you and your products. But the third is what you just alluded to, which is that financial services and all companies and all governments have to have more of a purpose than just making profit and growing the economy. They have to deliver things that are good for society and good for the planet. I mean, the Netherlands particularly is a leader in this field with the Green Party and the focus upon making environmentally sustainable products. But that's now becoming pervasive in all developed economies. So, purpose-driven banking, working in the interests of the planet and society through digital technology delivery is becoming a really major theme that I'm focusing upon. And in fact, it's the theme of my next book.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much for your time. And I look forward to read a lot more from your blogs in 2021.
The bird is just saying he wishes you well and that you have a great future. And okay, the elephant says the same, except that he's just dropped something smelly.
Thank you, bird. Thank you, elephant. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Rick.
Bye-bye.